Hi, this is like the bonus video to, if you want to, make a cover or to keep your book from being an accordion style book. So when I say accordion style book, I mean that this book will stand up and be a long strip of paper. So if you don't like that, if you don't like that this flops and can come all the way apart, what you can do is simply, this is my handle. This is scraps from my handle. And I can wrap these around the edge. And if I glue these on here, what happens then is my book will have pages that just turn like a regular book. It won't flop and become a long piece of paper anymore. So that is one option. You do obviously have to have glue to make that happen. I sort of like that they flop because if I have a drawing that gets longer or if I want more space, this kind of continues to expand for me to have more space and more space. So, but sometimes people don't like that can happen. So this is, like I said, optional video. I'm going to leave one of mine long, and I'm going to take this guy, the one that had the green on the front, and I'm going to make this one have a cover. So I had that bottom of the box from my cat food, and this is like lightweight cardboard. So it'd be kind of like a cracker, like if you have an empty cracker box or cereal box, or other packaging like that. So it's not like heavy cardboard, it's just light. I did cut this then using my scissors so that it is the same width as my book. So you can see I matched it up to the edge and I cut two so that I have a front and back cover for my book. Now my cardboard ended up being a little bit smaller than, because this is just the cardboard that I can find. Like none of my cereal boxes were empty, so I didn't want to take the box. So make sure that you're not taking a box that your family needs, okay? Grab something that would have gone in the recycle or trash. So you can see my book kind of sticks out the end. I'm going to trim this off, but before I trim this off, so you can see I'm going to hang on to this. I'm going to make sure that I'm not trimming off that fold at the top. Here's where my paper is folded in half. This is that last section that I didn't cut. If I cut that off, this stops being one long piece of paper and goes back into two pieces of paper. And I don't want that to happen because then I think my book is going to fall apart. So I want to make sure that I'm not trimming this fold off. So yep, here's the fold. Here's the end I was going to plan to trim. So I know that I'm not cutting that fold off. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my cover on here. And this is the section that I need to cut off. And so I'm just going to take my scissors. And oh, this is a tough cutting job. I might have to, if you don't have a really sharp scissors or strong hands, you might have to draw a line. Because this is a lot of paper to cut through all at the same time. Look at that. Crazy. All right, so now my cover and my book are the same size. I can see, yep, close call. I did not cut the fold off. This is, I wanted to make sure that I didn't cut the fold off. These scraps, of course, can go in your bin. Now what I'm going to do is, remember I showed you that you could use the handle. I am going to glue these out here first. This is going to bind my book together. So basically, if I take a sketchbook that I got from the store, right, what I'm doing is I'm giving it this binding here that's inside the cover, okay? And then my cat food box is going to give me the hard cover part. Just to kind of use a real book as an illustration. I can use a glue stick for this if I make sure to get a lot of glue on. So here, look, I've taken my grocery bag handle and I've folded it around the book. I'm not going to glue here. I'm just going to glue out here. So I'm going to take my grocery bag handle and I'm really going to rub on the glue stick. And I'm going to stick it down to my book, making sure to kind of pinch and press. And now I have to do the same thing with this other side, making sure that I get enough glue. And now I'm going to push and hold this, and I'm pushing down, like, I don't know if you can see, but I'm pushing down pretty hard right now. The glue stick needs some pressure so that it can get stuck. So I'm kind of push and hold, count to 20, pushing it down against my table. And I'm going to do the same thing with 2 other straps. So you can see I've put the one in the middle. This one I'm going to put up here toward the top. Whoops. And then I'm going to do the same thing toward the bottom. Again, I'm going to push and hold, and I'm going to try to hold both of these. I really want to make sure they get stuck, and it's time and pressure that's going to help them get stuck. Like I said, you do not have to do this. This is just if you wanted to put a cover and, like I said, turn this into a more traditional book. This grocery bag book was the one that had all of the designs on it from the grocery store. And so I wasn't going to be able to draw a lot on that side anyway. My other grocery bag book that I made happened to get lucky, and the store that I went to didn't have any writing on their grocery bag. So this one is going to be clean on both sides. So I'm going to be able to draw on both sides of the paper. So this one I'm going to leave without a cover. This one, obviously, I'm putting a cover on. Okay, my third and final strap. And I'm going to put that one right here. So you can see I've kind of evenly spaced them. Flip that over and hold that down, and holding and pressing, just to make sure that that glue gets really, really stuck. There's nothing worse than thinking you've got it stuck and then you're going to pick it up and move it around and it's going to pop apart, and that's always sort of a bummer. This would also work with regular glue because the regular Elmer's glue takes a little longer to dry. You could have to just hold it for longer or maybe stick it under a book. You can see now, remember I was talking about that this will keep my book together so my pages don't, I can pull them apart on purpose obviously, but this way this opens and shuts a little bit more like a traditional book. Okay, now I can glue my cover on here. I can use glue stick again, and that's fine. I'm trying to center this so that my pages don't stick out too much from the bottom or the top. I can, of course, trim this a little bit more too if I decide that those are a little crooked. Make sure to remember to peek, don't cut that fold off. So for this, I can take glue stick again, or I can take my regular glue. My regular glue bottle here at home, you can see it got dropped and the whole top of it is broken. So I can't use it like a regular glue bottle. Oh wow, really broken. Now it's in 2 spots. And what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to pour a little bit of this out. We'll see if it even still pours. I don't use glue very often at my house. Okay, that's not going to pour. We're going to use the glue stick then and see if the glue stick will hold the cover on. I'm going to guess that it will. So I'm going to be very generous with my glue. So you can see I'm putting it right over the top of my straps and I'm kind of going everywhere. And I'm going to take my cover now And I'm going to line it up on here. And now, instead of going in circles with my glue stick, I'm going to rub in circles with my hand. We call this burnishing. I'm going to do that here, and now I'm going to flip this over and open, and I'm going to push on the inside too, so that my paper gets nice and glued to my cover. This is actually a lot easier to do if you have regular glue instead of a glue stick. But like I said, my regular glue is broken. So, and now I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And you can see here, I now have a cover on my little sketchbook. And it covered up this green grocery bag paper. I can now take and I can draw on that cover or write my name on there. I can decorate it. Maybe I can find some wrapping paper. Maybe I have magazine that I can cut up and glue. Whatever you want to do to make that cover fun and interesting for yourself is great. I'm going to line this back up on the top of here again. Just like before, circles with the glue stick. Now I'm circles with my hand. And I'm going to open it up and I'm going to do circles on the inside too, just to make sure that this all gets nice and stuck. Sorry if I'm making my whole table wiggle. That's how hard I'm pressing down on here to make sure this gets stuck on. And there we go. I have made a little sketchbook now with a cover, and you can see that this book, I can't make the paper get longer anymore. So maybe for some of you that feels like a disadvantage to not be able to stretch this out and make a really long image. And for some of you, maybe this feels better, that I now have just a regular, like the book sort of, the pages kind of turn like a regular book. I can still, I guess if I want to be sneaky, pull these out of here. But for the most part, it stays together. I probably need to let this sit and dry under something heavy for a few minutes before I get to work in it. All right. Happy sketchbook.